So 1 second, I need to make a placeholder or whatever it's called. I just want to confirm that it's working. So okay. All right. Yeah, I guess we're live. All right, guys. Hello, gringos y gringas, beaners and beanerettes. Welcome back to another episode of El Racist Latino. Today, the world is in shock. Holy shit, man. Maria Corina Machado won the Nobel Peace Prize. Trump, the first thing that came into my mind is Trump. He must be pissed. He must be so butthurt. Oh man, dude. And immediately came again into like the second thing is that was this like a middle finger fuck you to Trump by whoever makes the decision who wins the peace prize? Is Trump, and related but also unrelated, is Trump gonna now attack Venezuela further? We'll find out. We'll find out through. This is what we're gonna talk about today. We're gonna talk first a bit about Maria Corina, get to know her and who she is, her trajectory, and a little bit about her, and maybe find out what does that mean. That now that she's awarded this prize, what's up now? What's up? Is this gonna affect? Is this putting pressure on Maduro? Guess so. And then we're gonna get to know, since we're here, actually it's interesting because I thought that today maybe we should do a bit some research about Venezuela, because I wish I know more, and every day is escalation and escalation in the news from every side. Like every day it gets worse and worse and worse since the moment where Pam Bondi came out, I think in August, and said that Maduro has now a $50 million bounty on his head on information. it's funny because people is like on Twitter, all over Twitter, it was like 50 million bucks on information on the capture of President Nicolas Maduro, and people on Twitter were like, he's in the Palacio de Miraflores, in the presidential palace of Venezuela, of the Venezuelan president in Caracas. Like, he's in the presidential palace. Where's my money? It's like, how can you, like, everybody knows where he is. Are you serious? Completely symbolic. Is basically an act of like it's an act of war. It's an act of diplomatic war. It's like, we are now officially very unhappy with you. So kind of signal. And sorry. So yeah, we're gonna also dive deep on why this is. Of course, they're saying that it's about the drugs, a lot of drug trafficking situation and stuff, and mainly Tren de Aragua, which is a gang from Venezuela that was exported, let's say, to the US. So they've been not playing nice over there, all over the US, and they were sent, or either a big chunk or all of them, I don't know the details, were sent to this prison in El Salvador. So most of them are there with the MS-13s, which are Salvadorians themselves. So we're gonna get to know a little bit. There's a really nice conversation I found. I haven't seen it myself, but I'm looking forward getting to know more, because they go deep on the Tren de Aragua and the Cartel de Soles, which is another cartel that is kind of famous in the news all over, especially for the drug trafficking and stuff. So we're gonna know from this expert a little bit of the story about the drug cartels, and then we are gonna see in the news what's going on, what's the latest on Venezuela, put some perspective on the whole thing, and then decide, make a decision together. Is there gonna be war anytime soon? What do we think? So, all right, then let's get to it. So, boom, 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 boom. So let's first, as we were talking about, let's find out who is Maria Corina, right? So let's see from wait, are they, is it just the, yeah, let's check it out, why not?
Growing darkness. The Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 goes to a brave and committed champion of peace.
Trump.
To a woman who keeps the flame of democracy burning.
A woman.
Amidst a growing darkness.
Not Trump.
The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award the Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 to Maria Corina Machado. She is receiving the Nobel Peace Prize for her tireless work promoting democratic rights
the whole world
for the
is
people
in shock
of Venezuela, and for her struggle to achieve a just and peaceful transition from dictatorship to democracy.
So yeah, now Maria Corina Machado took Trump's favorite toy away from him. The one that he's been saying, I wanna. And Maria Corina was like, yoink, oops, mine. Oh my god. That's a big hit to his ego. And everybody knows his ego is not famous for being a small one or humble one, let's say. Wins Nobel Prize. Who is this one? Oh, I never heard of this news channel, so let's give them a chance. Open for new opinions always. Why on?
And to discuss more, we are now being joined by Dr. Glenn Deason from Oslo. He is a professor of international relations at the University of Southeastern Norway and an editor at the Russia in Global Affairs Journal. Thank you so much, Dr. Deason, for joining us on the broadcast.
Oh, my pleasure.
Dr. Deason, the Nobel Committee has announced Maria Corina Machado as this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner. And now she has received this for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela. Now, the committee has also stated this in their announcement. Now, how do you interpret the message that the Nobel Committee is trying to send with this year's choice?
Well, it tends to be very political, the Peace Prize. As we're just told, it's a hope that it will support their cause. And again, I think anyone pursuing democracy can make a strong cause for this, so that they're deserving of a peace prize. However, that means linking democracy directly to peace. The problem, though, is that within NATO there's a tendency now to pursue a very militaristic approach to democracy. It tends to justify a lot of wars. So I think there's also some reason for concern, given that the US Navy is now parked outside the coast of Venezuela, attacking civilian vessels. And again,
I was not so far off, right? Like, my second thought is, oh shit, is this a big fuck you to Trump? Here it is. This whatever expert, I never heard from him before, but, you know, he's wearing a suit, so so he must be an expert. So yeah, but this it is like, dude, is this a risky move? Like there's destroyers, at least 4 of them parked at the coast. There's 1,000, either 1,000 or 2,000 Marines units, not Marine units, so soldiers. Well, isn't that a unit? I guess so. So park like waiting, and 2,000 Marines, like American Marines with their training, their technology, and fucking probably huge gorillas, like over 2 meters or 6'6", 6'7", who knows, huge motherfuckers, you know. Man, they would rip over whatever Venezuela has that it can call a military. This not even close. So tanks and whatever, they like send 10 motherfuckers. They're fucking this. Oh my god, it's not. Yeah, this is a risky move. But yeah, the same point this guy was giving, you know.
At the coast of Venezuela, attacking civilian vessels, and again,
That's also
we
true.
could see a war coming. So, and I would then be concerned that she hasn't really opposed any. Indeed, she has supported all the pressure of the United States on Venezuela, the sanctions which have killed tens of thousands and caused mass amount of people fleeing. She hasn't really pushed back against the U.S. threats of war against her own country. So by just coloring, by saying, oh, she's against the government, which NATO doesn't care for, and the U.S. wants to topple, that means she's a champion of democracy. And my
That's a very good point. That's very opportunistic. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Well, the fact that she didn't call them out, and I'm trying to be unbiased, like really. So, but the fact that she didn't call them out doesn't mean that she also didn't support them. She's just kind of silent, conveniently silent about it, which she shouldn't be as a political leader, even if it's a symbolic one. You should be open and direct with your people at all times. Just every time something happens, I agree, I disagree, and yeah, like in some sense, I'm a libertarian, so I definitely don't like communism, and I would support any day for any communistic government to end, but not like this, not like breaking international laws, and I don't know, you know. I know the other side, the communists, they have no morals about breaking the law and then covering it up, or fucking blackmailing, or just actually paying off politicians and stuff just to get what they want done without any kind of scruples or morals or anything. I understand that they do it, but doesn't mean we have to lower to that level. It's just my opinion. So I wouldn't. I would do it properly. And Trump bombing a a couple. It's been, I think, at least 3 boats that he has bombed, presuming that there's drugs inside, heading directly for the U.S. without, proof that there's actually some drugs in there, because you bomb everything, like everything is on fire. Now there's no evidence. So that's also not the correct way. Like toppling, like a government change, one of those that you love doing, that there's a long list from, that you're so experienced in doing, it's not the right answer, in my opinion. It should be as organic as possible. It needs to be organized, of course, but not so you can put somebody that you want. Then, I don't know. I don't know what that would mean for the Venezuelan people on the ground, because maybe they would prefer to have at least America as a leader rather than communism. Maybe that would bring them more money, more jobs, more capitalism, which is something that I support, of course, as a libertarian. Basically, free market of business, financing, and money on the street. So I don't know if that means better quality. Just toppling Maduro, even if it's illegally and by force, by the U.S., and then the U.S. planting some puppet there. Is that better for the Venezuelan people on the ground? I don't know. We have to see if we can find a poll. But so that's a very good point that this guy is making. So this girl is obviously, saying, let's kick this government down even if it's illegally. So what does that say about her? She's a political leader. Like, I would expect a bit more ethics. So if I would be a political leader, I would immediately say out loud, this is not the way, because I have people following me and stuff, or whatever. Um, but my real opinion is, uh, yeah, man. I mean, it's topple communism. Fuck this. So if they break the rules, so do we. I don't know, man. That's also going down to their levels. My real opinion wouldn't be probably. I would need to think about it, or I wouldn't even say it out loud. But the if I would be political leader, immediately you have to say it. People follow you, wanna listen to what you say, and not saying it is convenient, because it's like what this guy is saying. It's like a very convenient democracy. So, but last year's election results, that's also not democracy. That was such a corrupt, stolen election. It's just impossible to to call it fair. So I don't know. It's tough, man. You see, when you go nuance into these topics, it's tough to kind of see both sides, and like, who's right, who's wrong. Well, everybody's right in their own perspective, right? That's why you do what you think is right. So, but when you sit down and see the perspective of both sides, you're like, shit, that's also a good point. So yeah.
And my fear is that it could legitimize war as well, given that the U.S. building a case for invasion of Venezuela. So I'm a bit critical. It doesn't mean that I don't recognize that the cause of her supporters, that it might be legitimate, that they want greater democratic representation. But again, I tend to be a bit skeptical. Again, in the past, we've given the Peace Prize to the EU, to Obama. It's often very, very political.
Of course, Dr. Deason, but having said that, the European Union awarded its top human rights prize to Maria Corina Machado, along with other Venezuelan opposition politician Edmundo Gonzalez Urrutia. Now, having said that, there has been a fair bit of debate around this year's prize, particularly with President Trump claiming credit for resolving 7 wars in total and repeatedly insisting that he deserves to win this prize for his diplomatic efforts. Now, how do you see Machado's win against the backdrop of Trump's persistent claims, and how do you think Trump is going to react to this announcement?
Thank you. Very good question.
Well, it's hard to say, but the fact that this is a key issue now, that the Norwegians are worried here that Trump might punish them if he doesn't give a peace prize in terms of tariffs or other ways. I mean, it's not really what goes in the spirit of the Nobel Peace Prize, which is supposed to go to those who have done the most or best to advance the fellowship among nations. So, and also his list of countries he brought peace to, I'm a bit skeptical.
Yeah, me too. That's
in Gaza, he wants credit for solving this war, but again, this is a US-backed genocide. He wants an award for ending the war with Iran, but it was America who attacked Iran and attacked its nuclear reactors. He also claims credit for ending the war in Yemen, but again, this was a US attack on Yemen. And now, as I said, he parked his navy outside Venezuela, which might be another war. He's taking credit for resolving the conflict between India and Pakistan. I know they made some diplomatic efforts, but this is also, I think, deeply exaggerated, the extent to which he was involved. So overall, I mean, he's not a... It would be a bit absurd to give him the peace prize, given that he hasn't actually delivered peace. And his big peace effort was, of course, Ukraine. But now he's gonna hand over tomahawks, which could trigger a nuclear war. It's still American weapons, intelligence, logistics that's fueling this war.
This dude is based.
But again, in rhetoric, he argues it's not his war. He never wanted it. But it doesn't matter. These are his wars, and the amount of wars he's been fighting over these few months he had in office now, it doesn't really suggest he's deserving of a Nobel Peace Prize.
Absolutely, Dr. Deesett, you've made a fair point there. And at a time when so many conflicts remain unresolved, how do you
You
interpret?
know what? I'm gonna follow these people. Oh wait, let me take a quick look before we keep going. Let's see how much I should trust them first. Drop in shock. This is currently live. Oh my god, that's gonna be Trump's reply is gonna be so funny. Let's finish this.
And to discuss more, we are
But
now
they
being
seem
joined
to be
In
quite
rhetoric,
nice.
he argues it's not his war. He never wanted it, but it war just is deserving.
there. And at a time when so many conflicts remain unresolved, how do you interpret this decision in terms of the broader global conversations around democracy and also dissent?
Oh, sorry, I missed that last part.
I was just trying to understand that how would this decision actually impact the broader global conversation around democracy and also dissent, as we are in a climate where there's geopolitical upheaval all around the globe, and we have so many conflicts which still remain unresolved.
Well, I think that the
This Indian
Nobel Peace
accent,
Prize
man.
becomes too disputed because
looks good on her, though.
It links essentially peace to the democratic peace theory, which is the idea that if you spread democracy, then you will have peace. The problem is, once peace is advanced, well, democracy is advanced through military force, one has to question this. Again,
Yeah, exactly. That's not
in
democracy.
Ukraine, one has to point out that NATO started a war in 2014 by toppling a democratically elected government, for example, in the name of promoting democracy. And we see now a possible war in Venezuela, and all, I would say, a majority of the wars being initiated now are done under
guy's
the
Russian.
name of advancing democracy. So it becomes a contradiction which has to be addressed. So I think this kind of peace
Makes
prize will
sense.
be very
He looks
divisive.
Russian.
Again, the NATO countries will use
Very
this
good
as a
English,
way of
though.
patting themselves on the back, showing that they are on the right side of history. For in many other parts of the world, this will be seen as being a bit problematic, providing legitimacy for further warfare. So I do think that well, it's no secret that this award has become deeply political, and I think that will be reflected in how it's seen around the world as well. Now, the Trump's personal push for the for getting the peace prize, I mean, it's a bit perplexing why he's so obsessed with it. But again, it could be an important award because really the whole world is now heading into conflicts all across the world. And of course, we have conflicts like China, which could be in the making. But again, pointing to Trump, he recently said he wanted to take over a former air base in Afghanistan by force because he wants to be close to where China's nuclear weapons are made. I mean, this is a very strange approach to peace, unless you think toppling governments around the world to impose democracy is the path to peace.
Yeah, they cannot
Of
do.
course, and given the global political climate, do you think that, as you've mentioned, this award does feel, and the choice particularly does feel divisive, but do you think despite all of that there could be a real diplomatic weight to it?
I unfortunately don't see it. Again, it's become very popular in the last few years to give these awards to dissidents in countries of NATO adversaries, but not within the NATO countries or allies of NATO countries. So it does seem that it's used as an instrument of soft power. And I would say it's unfortunate because there is a need to focus more on peace these days. I mean, if we look in conflicts around the world, we hardly talk about diplomacy anymore. Instead, it's all military solutions to all problems. Now, my concern is that once countries begin to talk about democracy and freedom, it becomes idealistic and moralizing to the extent there is no middle ground. There's no room for diplomacy because the democracy can't make a compromise with authoritarianism because it's good values versus bad. So I fear that this logic of democratizing the world, that this is something that has really built itself now into this Nobel Peace Prize.
Right, and just to take that point a little further, so do you think that this choice reflects a shift in how the Nobel Committee views peace, perhaps, as you've said, the push towards the democratic aspect of peace and how the changes that we're seeing right in front of us? Do you think this particular choice is also adding to that or maybe fueling a different narrative?
Well, I definitely think it's fueling the narratives as opposed to advancing peace. It's very hard to see why this would be a good choice for peace, given that.
Well, I mean, I was thinking that it could also stop Trump. Like, to see it from the other side is like, if Trump attacks Venezuela now, everybody's gonna call him just small dick energy, petty, like you're just invading because of your ego. Like, the media is gonna have a big excuse to, like, give him a lot of extra shit for attacking Venezuela now. It's kind of it's kind of like, everybody in 24 hours, everybody assuming it was Israel that killed Charlie Kirk, and of course zero evidence, nothing, but it does say something about where the culture is, where anything political, even someone who was supporting Charlie Kirk or supporting Israel, now we know that in the background not so much, but when he was on that stage, when he got shot in front of everyone, we all assume he was an Israel supporter, basically pro-Israel, right? And he gets shot, and everybody's like, "You did." It was Israel. It was Mossad. It's crazy. So, like, this is something similar, and yeah, it's also it also says something. There's also a nice way to see it. It's also a positive way to see it, that because Trump has so much bad reputation lately since the Epstein Files fiasco. It's been a small snowball of terrible things, bombing Iran and just now supporting Ukraine more. So it's been breaking his own promises slowly, way more. And yeah, now this would be oh man, this would be terrible for his reputation. So I guess now he's actually more scared on going aggressive because of the extra heat he would get. So it might actually work on that direction. It actually it's gonna prove if Trump can restrain himself, because if he attacks now, everybody's gonna say, including me, I'm gonna think immediately is because he's butthurt. And if he doesn't do it, then, I mean, because he's definitely butthurt. So can he control his feelings? Right? That's all we're gonna find out.
That the U.S. is now attacking these different civilian vessels off the coast of Venezuela, and that they have their navy in place, either for a decapitation strike or possibly even an actual invasion. So once you then begin to establish a partnership with a dissident, someone who might work with the invading power to take power after an invasion, you have to ask yourself whether or not that this is promoting peace, or if this is something that is setting the stage or legitimizing a war. And I think that this is definitely something that is legitimizing a war. If Trump wants to invade Venezuela, he just got a big attaboy from the Nobel Peace Prize Committee.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Dr. Deason, for joining us on the broadcast and sharing your
Oh,
valuable
that's what
perspectives.
he think it means. So he thinks This is a confirmation from the Nobel Peace Prize Committee and that kind of group of the elite cabal or whatever. Yeah, boo. Whatever. Well, how do you call them? Like Chucky or whichever kind of this boogeyman you wanna think of. Uh, so he thinks that this is kind of a thumbs up, like as a go ahead to Trump, to like taking away the prize from his hands is the go ahead to invade Venezuela. Are you do you know Trump, bro? You little chubby dude with the glasses. Do you know Trump at all? He's not gonna take it like that. Are you serious? He's gonna be like, fuck that bitch. Wait, who won it? Maria Corina? Who? Maria Corina? Who? Yeah, who is this bitch? Fuck Maria Corina. I don't give a fuck who that is. God damn that bitch. Are you crazy? He's been calling for this for, yeah, some time. I want to say a year, but man, it's been a while that he's been like kind of asking for this. So, yeah, man. If this, let's hear it again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
You know, attaboy, Trump wants to invade Venezuela. He and I think that this is definitely something that is legitimizing a war. If Trump wants to invade Venezuela, he just got a big attaboy from the Nobel Peace Prize Committee.
No, bro, you don't know how Trump thinks. I have no idea what you're talking about. I was actually supporting this dude until that moment. So let's see his shock. This guy's live. Did he speak? Did Trump speak? And this is what we saw already, actually.
This is the big news that we're getting. The Nobel Committee has announced Maria Corina Machado as this year's Nobel Peace Prize winner. She is... And
okay. So of course we have to refresh because every second is the Iron Lady. So we wanna see if we can find some kind of small Maria Corina short bio. So what is she does?
2025 के नोबेल पीस प्राइज विनर अनाउंस हो चुके हैं एंड इट इज नॉट डोनाल्ड ट्रंप. विनर है मारिया कोरिना मकाडो. ये वेनेजुएला की पॉलिटिशियन है जिन्होंने वेनेजुएला में डेमोक्रेसी लाने के लिए बहुत काम किया.
I have no idea what this girl is saying. I'm sorry. Finding at news media. Oh, this dude, fuck. Come on, tell me something about this woman. I've got the Iron Lady or whatever.
The Nobel Peace Prize for 2025 goes amidst a Peace Prize for 2025 promoting democratic struggle of
No, we heard
democracy.
this.
Principle is more important than authoritarian making. The violent machinery of the state is directed against its own population.
Yeah, we already heard all this, dude. There we go. Who is... Let's see.
The Nobel Peace Prize has been...
Let's see if they are... Oh, DW. Let's see if this was a clickbait or if they are really gonna say or explain who she is. We'll see.
been awarded to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado for promoting democratic rights in her
Not
country.
a good start.
The committee called her
Not a good start. That's it. She said Machada. Machado. Maria Corina Machado. Come on, girl.
Machado for promoting has been awarded to Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado for promoting
Machado.
democratic rights in her country. The committee called her a unifying figure in a political opposition that was once deeply divided. Machado was praised for trying to loosen the authoritarian government's rigid hold on power. She entered politics in 2002 as the founder of the vote monitoring group Somate. Machado was one of hundreds of candidates nominated for the award. And for more on the Nobel Peace Prize winner, Maria Corina Machado, we are joined now by DW's Oscar Schlenker. So, Oscar, tell us, what more do we know about her?
Well, Maria Corina Machado is a real symbol of resistance in Venezuela and of peaceful resistance through promoting democracy, standing up for her beliefs in peaceful protests that she has led. She's not a newcomer to politics, although she's studied industrial engineering. She decided to take on one of the toughest fights in Latin America, challenging authoritarian power that is Chavismo without violence. She was and is remembered as one of the few opposition voices that challenged Hugo Chavez personally while he was still living and told him his regime was unfair and corrupt on live television. She founded Sumate, as you well mentioned, which pushed for fair elections and civic participation. That got her into serious trouble with the government of Hugo Chavez, but it also made her a national figure, someone who wasn't afraid to stand up when everybody else stayed silent. So she really broke that spiral of silence in Venezuela. Since then, she has been attacked, banned from office, even assaulted and detained most recently. And she's currently in hiding from the regime, but she never left Venezuela.
Oh, shit.
And through peaceful civic pressure.
Tell us a little bit more about how she is viewed by the people of Venezuela and what this means for Venezuelans.
Well, I think she has been viewed in Venezuela in certain moments as controversial, but she has always got the support of the opposition. And her message is pretty clear. We're not fighting with weapons, we're fighting with courage and truth. And it's that conviction to the truth and to courage that she advocates that has made her a unifying factor in the opposition, which at times has been seen divided in Venezuela. Now, in 2023, despite being officially banned from running, she won the opposition primaries by a landslide, over 90% of that vote. It really surprised many experts, and it showed that millions of Venezuelans still believe in peaceful change. And it surprised everyone because the regime blocked every possible road, airport, detained her staff, persecuted journalists over covering her campaign. And through determination, she managed to lead the opposition through a landslide electoral victory last year. That was the proven winner was Edmundo Gonzalez. She could not run because she was banned at the last minute. But the regime did not recognize that, and she has been in hiding since then in Venezuela. And I think this Nobel Peace Prize will help the opposition claim that victory from last year, and also safeguard her from being detained, which is what the regime would want to do at this moment.
Okay, and Oscar, tell us. I mean, when we talk about a path toward power for her, how is it within the country? Has she basically become a symbolic figure at this point?
Good question.
She is a symbolic figure, but she's also been considered one of the most powerful opposition leaders because she has been able to unite the opposition when it's been divided at times. And that factor has really put her in an important place in the opposition.
Yeah, that's true.
In Venezuela, although at some times she has not been able to unite the opposition leaders. She has been able to unite the opposition bases. And I think that makes her a powerful leader that she could someday maybe lead Venezuela if
nobody wants to share the throne, right?
At some point decides to hand over power.
DW's Oscar Schlenker, thank you so much.
He would be a good vice president. So yeah, very good rundown. Now we know who she is and what she stands for. Basically, I don't know, the libertarian of the American, like if you have Democrats, Republicans, and libertarians, she would be the libertarian leader, Maria Corina Machado. So she got the world the world Nobel Peace Prize. Now, what does that mean? Um, well, as you say, this I think he's a Russian dude. I think he has uh, the wrong conclusion that this means that he gives the thumbs up and the green light to Trump to invade Venezuela or something. But no, like Trump is mega pissed, and I don't think I don't think he needs permission. I don't think whatever it is that he does next regarding Venezuela's tension levels, if it's gonna escalate or de-escalate, is has nothing to do with anybody else. He's not paying attention to anyone. He's gonna make his own decision based on his feelings or, you know, logic and good governance. So I guess this is where the fork splits. Can Trump, you know, not like get over this petty winning? He still has 2 more years, right? Isn't it? Isn't it every year? Is it at a? I don't. I'm sorry for the ignorance. I don't really know anything about the Nobel Peace Prize. I think all of these prizes are always more symbolic than anything else. But now it's exploding because now everybody's on politics, right? So, like being the Pope, like back in the day we had like John Paul the second, right, for ages, since I was born up until you know 15 years ago. Then came the German dude Ratzinger and Benedict, I think 16 or 13 or something like this. And then yeah, he was covering he was covering some scandals within the church and some Irish priest, and that was proven, so he had to quit. Much people don't know this. They think that he quit because he couldn't handle it anymore. He was just tired. No, man, it was the fucking scandal with the pedophile Irish priest. That's why he quit. So anyway, and then they voted again, and now it's the Argentinian dude just died. No, now then came the Argentinian dude. What was his name? Benedict? Was it Benedict? I don't remember. And now we have the American dude. It's Leo something. So this Leo, you see what happened? It was like when it happened, it was a big deal. Did the needle move? Sometimes he makes a Twitter here and there, making his opinion, like, oh, the Pope agrees. Yeah, okay, the Pope agrees. Yeah, so, oh, but she won the Nobel Peace Prize. Yeah, is that gonna win the that's why I don't really know much about this Nobel Peace Prize, so I apologize if I don't know if it's a year, every 2 years. Is it like the World Cup every 4 years? That prestige, the same prestige as a World Cup. You can ask Messi and Maria Corina, who is happier with their medal or their cup. So yeah, on the other side, where we're gonna talk about something else. How long we've been talking for? 44 minutes. All right, so let's find out then about Trump. Nobel. Let's find out how Trump reacted.
You have time and again said that one should not underestimate Mr. Trump's negotiating ability. Do you personally believe that Mr. Trump deserves to win the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow?
Oh, well, I think that's probably a decision that comes from the Nobel Committee. And my take is that there are two key pieces that have to be solved in the big.
That's kind of racist. I was saying that Finnish, right? The president of Finland, and the Nobel Peace Prize is given in Oslo, as far as I know. I think it's Stockholm is where they give all of the other prizes, and then Oslo, Norway. Stockholm, Sweden, they give the other prizes, and Oslo, Norway is where they give the Nobel Peace Prize. I am pretty sure that's what it is. But yeah, if I'm wrong, then I apologize. And this guy, oh, so you're from over there? What can you tell us? That's in Norway. Yeah, whatever. The same dick dresses a sausage. Who gives a shit? It's the same. A bit racist and ignorant, but yeah, hilarious.
I think that's probably a decision that comes from the Nobel Committee.
Which is in
and
Norway.
My take is that there are two key pieces that have to be solved in the big picture. One is in the Middle East, and we're seeing the results of that. And then the other one is between Russia and Ukraine. And once those are solved, I don't see any impediments to it.
Mr. President, how do you rate your chances of winning the Nobel Peace Prize tomorrow? Personally?
Well, I don't know. Look, I made 7 deals, and now it's 8. But they'll have to do what they do. Whatever they do is fine.
Now it's 8.
I know this. I didn't do it for that. I did it because I saved a lot of lives.
Yeah, we'll see.
President
He's
Obama
butthurt,
got
man.
the Nobel Peace Prize for way less.
Nothing.
Exactly.
Obama got a prize. He didn't even know what he got. He got elected, and they gave it to Obama for doing absolutely nothing but destroying our country. No, he was not a good president. The worst president was Sleepy Joe Biden. Obama was not a good president.
Are you going to do something with the
They
Hezbollah?
gave him a prize. How many months after he won the election, then they gave him the Peace Prize, right?
It was right after he was
Are you going to take
My election was a much more important election.
Yeah. Your dick is bigger. Did he react afterwards? And I get a lot of times of India, like in the algorithm. A lot of Indian news. Let's see if they're fair and objective. I don't care where the news is coming from as long as they're telling the truth. So Norwegian. So I was right. So we have the Norwegian Nobel Committee finalize winner. So they knew days before. Okay. They've probably seen Trump like, you lost, bitch. Big blow to US. Yeah, no shit. That's a big kick in the balls. Yeah. Norwegian Nobel Institute confirmed laureate choice made before Gaza ceasefire deal. Yeah, that doesn't count anyway, bro. Don't give me that shit, man. You just sent tomahawks, or even like flirted with sending tomahawks to Ukraine. You cannot be. Don't give me that shit. You need to stop all the wars, bro. That's when you earned it. Stop all of the dying. It's not like I stopped some of the dying here, but this other dying, I tried. I did my best. We met in Alaska, didn't we? We had coffee, and and the Europeans don't want it. The Europeans don't want compromise. So then I'm out of the war. We send them weapons, but they pay for it with the money we give them. So it's some kind of fucking money funnel flow situation. So yeah, it doesn't count. It doesn't really count. So that's 9. Why don't you put that one on the list? Like, disconnected to the Ukraine-Russia war, you big hypocrite. Yeah, of course. What a surprise. Netanyahu? Who the fuck is Herzog? And who is Lapid? Oh, Lapid, wasn't Lapid the French guy that just quit? He quit after 27 days in office. He said, fuck this. I don't know about that. We'll get into France sooner or later and find out what happens. Right now it's not really a priority. PBD is live.
You know what? I'm gonna
Let's see.
accept the victory
But I wish it would
Why
have
are you
won in a
bringing that
different
up,
way.
though?
I don't want to bring it up. I'm in a bad mood right now when it
Well,
comes
at
up to
least
that.
good news is LeBron's out a couple weeks. before the start of the season
Congratulations
in LA.
to the Dodgers for advancing. We will celebrate for you. You have to realize the
His
number one team I
butthurt.
root for is who? When they're in
Yankees,
the Yankees.
obviously.
Number 2 team I root for is the Dodgers. I
What? Did you
them
went
to-
you did you
I'm
went
rooting
through
for
it
the Dodgers
already?
to win the World Series. But can you pull up his book? Yeah, they just sent.
Oh, okay.
And then Tony Thurmond, and then you have Betty Lee. It's going that way to their kids.
Check 'em
Cal,
out.
well, we'll check them out to see what's going on here.
But that's very inconvenient.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
very
yeah.
inconvenient.
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is. But there's this new person, folks. That's my favorite person to watch videos of. I'm telling you, I am of how those payments are made.
Yeah.
Organization is a guy not too happy about a few things. Comes bad. Wait till you get Katie Porter.
Yeah, let's see who's live. Maybe people are live in here in Rumble. That would be fun. Yeah, we're gonna talk about maybe I'll go back live later today for a part 2, because I realize I wanna watch with you guys this video. It's about 20 minutes long, so I can assume we're gonna take about 30 with my bullshit commentary, and then I want also to do the other half hour as research to current things. So I didn't know it was gonna take so long. When I saw the time and I thought it was already 40 minutes had gone, I'm like, fuck, that I speak too much bullshit, man. So let's just kill this whatever. What do we have? 51. Yeah, let's just keep finding out about the reaction to Maria Corina's winning. Ah, shit. I wanna search, bro. By the way, is it trending? It's not trending, really? Man, they just took it out of Trump's hand. What are you talking about? Let's see who else is live. I should try going live on Twitter also. I'll do next episode. Yeah, we don't have much. We don't have nothing right now. Is it too early? Maybe it's too early for people to react, especially in the West Coast, right? So yeah, we're gonna have to stay with YouTube. Maybe let's see if people are live on Rumble. Let's see who's live. Good, just fucking. What are you talking about? Politics. You don't have a politics? This is what we do here, man. This is what we do in Rumble. What the fuck? Nothing, bro. Nothing, bro. Nothing about Maria Corina. I'm making a new one.
Disconnect because
Nah, that's the old one. Shit, man, nobody's talking about Maria Corina. Interesting. Maria Corina Machado. This girl is gonna be the most Googled woman on earth. Do you see? My father revokes blah blah blah. Live with Corina. Really? How many? 7 months ago. Oh shit, man. 7 months ago. Donald Trump Jr. spoke with Maria Corina 7 months ago, huh? Interesting. Let's see how long is it. The conversation.
biggest advocates for crypto, biggest advocates.
So from here, oh shit, bro. No, man, it's way too long. Maybe later. Oh, PBD spoke with her. Jesus. I didn't know this woman was visiting all the big ones. Interesting. But nothing current, right? No reaction from him. Is he still sleeping? That lazy bastard. Yeah, we know he lost, but retribution. Netanyahu in Egypt, El-Sisi say Trump deserves. Really? Jesus Christ. They fear retribution. Oh, that's kind
Well, as we heard, Egypt's president has told the U.S. president that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize for his work on securing a peace deal for Gaza. The U.S. president has publicly campaigned for the award, claiming to have settled several, I think 7 conflicts around the world. The winner will be announced on Friday in Norway.
Donald Trump has long coveted the Nobel Peace Prize.
I've ended 7 unendable wars. Everyone says that I should get the Nobel Peace Prize for each one of these achievements.
Oh my
But his
God.
claims are contested, with critics saying he does not deserve the prestigious award. The Nobel Peace
Lord.
Prize was based on the will of Swedish industrialist Alfred Nobel. Each year, the Norwegian Nobel Committee reviews nominations and selects the laureates in October. It honours those who make the biggest contributions to humanity for promoting peace, reducing armies and advancing fellowship between nations. So first, let's look at Trump's peace record. He claims he's stopped 7 wars across Asia, Africa and the Middle East. But many analysts have challenged that narrative. Some agreements were historic, but other disputes weren't full-scale wars. Some haven't stopped at all. And his role in others remains disputed. The peace he promised elsewhere is still a work in progress. Friends and foes alike have said he deserved the award if he ends the war in Ukraine without conceding territory. Regarding Gaza peace talks, Trump's diplomatic efforts have been lauded by many countries worldwide. Yet his support for the Israeli government in a war that has claimed more than 60,000 Palestinian lives has some critics saying the idea of awarding him the Nobel Peace Prize is ludicrous. But what about the other key criteria, disarmament and advancing fellowship between nations? Many critics see Trump's policies at home and abroad at odds with his core values. Trump proposed record military and defence spending and even renamed the Defence Department to the Department of War. He laid claims to Canada, Greenland and the Panama Canal. He cut off USAID funding and strained global ties with tariffs.
That is crazy, right? Changing the name from the Secretary of Defense to the Secretary of the Ministry of Defense to the Ministry of War. Like, that's also on the list. It's a very small one. It's not like the Epstein files or the Epstein file situation or the bombing of Iran situation or the supporting more aid for Ukraine situation. Like, between all of those huge laws he broke, promises that he broke from his campaign of no new wars, of release all files, of like from everybody, that promises that everybody made. Kash Patel also, I will release the files, and Bongino as well, and Pam Bondi, and all of them promised, right? And now we got obviously the opposite, but in between those big ones there's also, you know, little nuggets, little like, oh no, not again, you know, but they're not that important in culture or around the world or in the big picture, so we let them go. But people don't speak about those very often, and they also help with this kind of you know, black pill. It's like a micro black pill every time you hear one of these tiny bad news, you know. or disappointments.
And even renamed the Defense Department to the Department of War. He laid claims to Canada, Greenland and the Panama Canal. He cut off USAID funding and strained global ties with tariffs. So how likely is it he'll win the award? The process is confidential, but experts say Trump's chances are slim. And according to a recent poll, 76% of Americans do not think he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize and should not join the likes of Nelson Mandela, the Dalai Lama and Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, of course, this has actually brought me some perspective, even though we didn't finish yet, but that's how I think. Suddenly. I think Trump now is gonna react like he's gonna be aloof about it. Oh, really? Was it? I had no idea. Oh, yeah, who won? Oh, good for her. Yes, she's fighting very important fight. And I cannot do impressions, so whatever. And yeah, we are gonna do the best we can to whatever. Free the people of this very beautiful country. Yes, very beautiful. Venezuela is very beautiful, and all this shit. So, but I don't think like to what this guy is saying that it's just green light from the Nobel Peace Prize Association. Like, who gives a fuck about their opinion? You know, in the grand scheme of things, they're not holding anybody's balls unless they are holding some version of the Epstein files. But otherwise, I don't see where the power lies over there, and why would that be any kind of sign, except just something symbolic, you know, like, yeah, the sign is, hey, don't forget about this struggle that's going on with Gaza, with Ukraine, with Christians in Nigeria, with all of these wars now. Before Trump invades, don't forget that this has been going on. You know, this lady, he's been the only one claiming for peace. Am I too far? Now I just realized. Okay, shit. So you have that side. You have this one, the only side claiming for peace. Like, one is communist, the other ones are the revolution, another revolution, the yeah, the allies, or whatever you want to call it. And yes, this one, she's kind of libertarian, as we were speaking about, just calling for peace. And yeah, I mean, maybe it's just this. She deserves it, basically. Don't forget about this struggle. It's a sign from, like, the being the Pope and being elected the Pope. You know, this is a sign from this organization. This is what we think, and we think, do not forget about this struggle, blah blah blah, before you invade Trump, or maybe like that. Maybe there's so many ways to see it. You know, like, hey, Trump, before you invade, you know, this has been like this has been a struggle, and this lady, of course, is the Nobel Peace Prize. So if it's a sign for Trump, I don't think, like this guy, how cynical. It would be a sign, or an indirect sign, to be like, dude, don't do that war. You know, they could have given the peace if they want to signal Donald Trump. Like, let's take this guy's, this Russian dude or Ukrainian or whatever he's from, dude. Let's break down his comment. You know, like, hey, this is a signal from the UN, from the Nobel Association or whatever, giving the go-ahead to Trump to bomb Venezuela. Okay, if the UN, if the Nobel Association would have any kind of sway in that way, why, like, these things are already escalating, man. Why not give the peace prize, Nobel Peace Prize, to the main opposition of Palestine, or to Zelensky? You know, like, if you, right? Like, Zelensky would be the perfect person in that case if you want to signalize something, because then, oh, this means that, of course, it would be laughable. Like, if anybody would give the Peace Prize to Zelensky, it would be like clown world memes. Oh my god, the memes would be epic. Jesus Christ. But anyway, but yeah, Maria Corina, I think it's very arguable that she actually deserves it, to be honest. Like, I see a strong argument for for logical Arkham's razors. The most logical solution is normally the right one, is that she actually deserved it. And she's been, I don't know the benefits, or we would have to like dig deep into her, how much money is she making, and does she have some kind of NGOs? Does she take like some kind of donation money from who, and all of it? Like, you don't have to do a Ian Carroll type of digging to find out how much of a good person she actually is. But her actions were always, it's like Gandhi, they went through the life of Gandhi and found a few skeletons. They went through the life of Mandela and found a few skeletons. But all in all, the biggest message, the same with MLK, the same with, even Jesus Christ or whatever. Like, we're human beings, people fuck off. They make mistakes, So, we're humans. And if this Maria Corina is like, if she's also the good person that she pretends to be, then that would be a bonus. But otherwise, her actions are already showing that she's pushing for peace and more understanding and conversation, more rather than fighting. So she can be anti-communist and anti-government, and that's fine, but in the Gandhi kind of way. Everything is peaceful. We are not attacking. We are not zero violence. Kind of putting flowers in the guns. Back in the days, in the Gandhi days. I think that's where that became famous, wasn't there? Was that it? I don't remember. But you know what I mean. So basically, flowers, fighting fire with flowers. Let's call it. So, yeah. Anyway, I guess we'll leave it there for now. That we will talk about Trump's answer later. But as I was saying, I don't know if I just got derailed as I usually do. But as I was saying, I think I can predict that Trump's answer is gonna be like completely aloof. Oh yeah, good for her, and I know the struggle, blah blah blah. We're gonna take a very close look to the situation because I'm not very happy at what Maduro is doing. Not happy at all. And we can come and we can give him problems, and we can be very destructive. Yes, very very much, and all that shit. So we will see what this brings, but I think he's not gonna, of course he cannot act butthurt, even though I'm sure he is. But everybody's gonna call him a big fucking baby if he goes like, well, fuck those So what do you think about, well, fuck those Nobel Peace Prize people, I said I wanted it, so I guess 8 wars isn't enough. Or if he that would be hilarious, man. But we'll talk about that later. But as I said, I think he's gonna be very political about it. Maybe he could also use it as a booster, for that to be like a extra. Yeah, so they also agree I should go in, kind of take it as that. But make his decision make his decision because of this, I doubt it. I'm sure his decision is already made. I mean, he has shown us with the escalation, so I'm sure that very soon he will engage. This is my personal belief. My personal belief is that we can talk about, let's talk about that in the episode 2, because that's also we're gonna talk about the drug cartels, we're gonna talk about what's happening, and we're gonna talk about what's gonna happen. So what would be the different kind of conclusions of this situation, and what could happen if Maduro stays, Maduro leaves, and all that stuff. It's gonna be fun. So stay tuned for tomorrow. Actually, that one is gonna be fun. We're gonna go deep into the Venezuela political situation, including these drug cartels, and current since August. It's been only 3 months since this problem started. August was when Pam Bondi came out giving a $50 million bounty, and then maybe a month later, maybe sometime in September, where they sent the vessels and they've been there for a month. Like, it's everything is happening so quick and escalating so quick. So we'll find that out tomorrow. All right, everybody. Then thank you for listening and for tuning in. And oh shit, I always forget, like, subscribe, share to your friends and all that stuff. I keep forgetting, man. I just wanna, yeah. So all right, then do all that stuff that you know how to do. And thanks. See you tomorrow. Peace.